God
damn it, Kyle.
Welcome back to Just the Tip.
Woo! Coming in hot.
Stealing thunder over here.
Oh my god. He's like,
It's a fantasy football podcast.
He is an overconfident Raider fan, man. I'll tell you. To get a couple of wins, and this guy is taking over the helms.
it's like the Bucs defense getting some pick sixes, stealing the ball away yesterday. Look at that. That is producer Kyle there hosting tonight. This is September 20th. We got Regan out. He's moving day this week. Moving week, rather. So he's pretty busy. So Kyle's stepping in. Appreciate it. We got Ryan the Tagless Haynes. We are getting into our waiver wire ads and drops. But go back and listen to our last episode for recapping the weekend. Gave you a pretty sneak peek at who we're keeping an eye on. We won't tip our entire hand because a lot of our listeners are in leagues with us. So we don't want to give all our secrets away, but we'll do the best for the people out there. I see some in Canada, Mexico, overseas across the pond, and all across the U.S., Utah, Minnesota. There is some Michigan there too, so good luck tonight. Detroit against Green Bay, if you're a fan out there. So they are winning 17-14 right now at halftime, so good for them. What do you guys need tonight to win? Ryan, you got anybody?
Yeah, I got Hawkinson in a couple leagues. I got Swift in a couple leagues. Got Adams. I mean, I have so many leagues. I got a little bit of piece of the pie about every team, I think. But I only need Hawkinson to outscore Aaron Rodgers by 29 points in the second half to pull off a big win. So
Easy money.
Easy, right? Yeah, definitely. A few Rodgers picks, like 3 or 4 Hawkinson touchdowns. Piece of cake.
It's possible. Aaron Rodgers sucks. How about you, Kyle?
I got nobody going. My games are
Nobody going?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm donezo, but I did pick Detroit, so let's go.
Oh.
Nice.
I did not pick Detroit. I picked Green Bay. But yeah, I got one of my leagues here. I'm going against one of my kids. I have Aaron Jones, excuse me. And he's going off right now, 2 receiving touchdowns, and he has DeAndre Swift. But I also have DeAndre Swift in another league where I need him to get me like 10 more points and outscore Mason Crosby, the kicker for Green Bay. So now that Aaron Jones has gone off, I need DeAndre Swift to come out in the second half and score a couple touchdowns for me. And we'll be all set. And then, I think I'll only lose one league this week. So pretty pathetic loss, though, too. Ryan, get this. I went against this kid, Drew. Shout out to Drew. He has Josh Jacobs in his flex with a 0. How terrible. How embarrassing. He also started Ryan Tannehill with 15 points. Yeah, you think I should win, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no. I had Jonathan Taylor with 6 points, Amari Cooper with 5 points, Tyler Higbee with 2. Thank you, Higbee. My kicker outscored him. Rodrigo Blankenship, 12.
Oh, yeah, Rodrigo, baby.
And the real kicker, Rondell Moore, on my bench with 29 points. So I stopped looking at that yesterday.
Sounds like you had all the week 1 studs who became week 2 duds in one lineup.
I did. That's fantasy football, baby.
But I will say, for me this week, projected to go right now 4-3.
There you go.
With one of those losses being like third in the most points in the league for this week, just lined up in one of those bad matchups. Happens.
That's good. I'm probably going to go 6-2, but hopefully 7-1. Depends on DeAndre Swift here. So, but yeah, we want to thank you guys for listening, the audience out there. You can find us on Apple, Spotify, Google, and Amazon podcasts. Find us on YouTube at Just the Tip, a fantasy football podcast. You can watch and see Kyle's face because you usually just hear his voice. Showing off our hats, the Just the Tip hat, cork version. If you're interested, slide in our DMs. at Just the Tip FFP on Twitter and Instagram, and you can find us on Facebook as well. And you guys can hit us up for some sit and start questions or add and drop trade questions. Pick our brains, grab our tips, hand them to you. We'll see what happens. We're all in this together. If you guys want any news, we recorded the recap, our last episode here, so we won't get into the news. You can go back and listen to that. Not much has changed in the past 20 minutes. It was basically a report, so you can look that up. But right now, we will get into who we're going to add off the waiver wire. It's a wave. It's an ocean wave.
I knew what it was.
I thought I was going deaf for a second. My ears do not feel good right now.
That was bad. I'll delete that. I'll delete that one right there.
I won't.
And right off the bat here, Kyle, producer Kyle, of course, has a great ad for you. Who do we have here, Kyle?
You got to go Daniel Carson on this one. The guy absolutely crushed it this week. I think he's only in my ESPN league. Says 17% owned, and he got 17 points. Week 1, 13. So he's doing pretty good. I think he's got some more, Janikowski in him this week. So.
Wow. All right. Well, good for him.
I didn't really prepare right up for that one. It was just kind of a joke.
Is Janny the special teams coach nowadays?
I hope so. Or at least I hope he takes him to the bar after the game.
I was going to say, him and Carlson got to be like shotgunning on the sidelines.
Yeah.
He's
like,
cooler.
Here, have another cigarette. This will help.
I'm just picturing a cooler next to the kicking net.
Says kickers
with
only.
A pack of Marlboros on top. Kickers only.
Kickers only.
Man. Well, you said 17% owned, so yeah, look at that. But the Raiders are 100% owning the league. So, yeah.
At least the AFC North.
At least the AFC North. Good for them.
Making their defenses look silly. Just saying.
They got Miami coming up, so watch out. Miami bounce back game. No, probably not. We'll see. So with that, we'll get into ads for running back, some real players here. You guys feel free to step in whenever. Cordell Patterson, I know it sounds gross. We're going to go kind of rapid fire here. But he's Atlanta's number one. I don't think it's Mike Davis like we were led to believe. That's just my opinion. I was saying that Arthur Smith coming from the Titans and he wants to ground and pound. He needs Cordell Patterson to do it. 14% owned. You might as well take a shot on him and drop somebody that is not cutting it on your team. Like a backup quarterback that you don't need. I'm trying to look up Cordell Patterson's stats here. Excuse me. Ryan, are you adding Cordell Patterson?
I mean, in a deep league, in a league with a big lineup. Yeah, certainly stash him. See what happens there. I mean, if they're going to have to pass the ball in a lot of these games in garbage time, he's probably going to be on the field, and he'll probably take away some targets in the air from Mike Davis. So we'll see moving forward. But yeah, certainly an ad in some leagues, some formats.
Yeah, I mean, at least keep on your radar, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to pick him up. He only had 33 snap percentage, but he had 7 rushing attempts and then 6 targets, 5 receptions for 58 yards and a touchdown. Did he get that rushing touchdown as well? We'll see. Maybe not the hottest one to lead off with, but Tony Pollard here.
In a standard league, Mike Davis and Patterson are not looking like very consistent plays or plays at all.
No.
But in the PPR leagues, both of those guys can certainly be in the mix.
Thank you for reminding me. We not usually, our base scoring system is a PPR league, so if we don't specify otherwise, assume that it's PPR league. Kyle, am I gonna have to beat you out for Cordell Patterson off the waiver wire?
Probably, yeah, because I'm gonna be dropping some people. So just stay away from Derek Carr. We can have an agreement. You stay away from Derek Carr.
Okay, all right. No. I'll take Derek Carr and then I'll trade him. Tony Pollard, 53%. This is Yahoo rostered. Yahoo stats here. They're getting him involved. All right, he does look explosive. Zeke, Regan mentioned it last week. Looks a bit sluggish. I don't think Zeke is the workhorse anymore. If they're going to be split in the backfield here, keep him on your radar at least. But you might want to pick him up, especially if you have Zeke as your handcuff. And usually I don't say pick up somebody else's handcuffs, but that Zeke owner might be desperate and might want him. So if you want to grab him, I would. If they're getting him involved, he had over 100 yards this past game. Who knows? Do you see a split backfield coming here, Ryan?
I mean, it certainly could be that way. I mean, they gave Pollard the ball 11 times this game, averaged like almost 10 yards a carry. 11 times. Like you said, he looked explosive. He was fast, hit the hole hard, was breaking tackles. Like he was everything you wanted to see from a running back, which is scary if you have, a share or two of Zeke. So somebody that's worth adding, I would say for sure.
I mean, they gave him 13 attempts on the ground and targeted him 3 times. So it's definitely something to keep an eye on. That was for this past game. Then Zeke, I don't have him in any leagues, and I'm kind of happy with that. But hopefully he can turn it around. Sony Michel here, 60%. Henderson got his ribs hurt. He was averaging over 4 yards a carry when he came in. I think he's worth a late pickup. I wouldn't spend a waiver priority or some fab on it. Or on him, rather, on the pickup. But for a late, if you want to wake up early after waivers clear and then grab him, go right ahead. Jeff Wilson, late pickup as well. Throw him on your IR if you want to drop somebody. Get him on your IR because he looks like he might be back sooner rather than later, and the 49ers desperately need him. So get him there.
That's a good idea, Mac, to drop somebody. If you're planning on dropping someone, drop them, pick up Jeff Wilson, IR, and then add somebody else. Mm-hmm. That would be then it's like a 2-for-1, and you get a guy who might be in the mix once he comes back. And then there was something I want to say about Sony Michel. I think people who are desperate for a running back 2 this week, I do think you'll see some people spending some fab on him because we're seeing a lot of injuries and guys could get desperate or players could get desperate. So you might have to shell out like $8, $9, $10, I think, to get Sony if you're in like a standard $100 fab budget league.
I'm not doing that. I think they're going to go all passing attack, especially when they have the Bucks coming up this weekend.
Mm.
I don't know. I don't think I want to do that. But speaking of desperate, Trenton Cannon. I mentioned him picked up by the 49ers last week. If Hasty's ankle sprains keep him out, Trey Sermon with his concussion, Mitchell exited the game as well with a shoulder injury. Trenton Cannon, you might be able to get something out of him this week. Who knows? If you are extremely desperate, keep an eye out for him. I'm laughing saying it because it's just ridiculous. If you have to start Trenton Cannon, I feel sorry for you.
I think he's a guy that if Elijah Mitchell is ruled out like 10 minutes before the game, you can be like, oh, shoot, jump on the free agent wire, pick up Cannon.
Or get like $200 in DraftKings, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Kyle, you got anybody for running backs here?
I do not. I do not have any running backs right now.
All right. How about you, Ryan?
I would say maybe Michael Carter should be stashed on your bench already. I think he's about 50% owned at this point. Had over 5 yards of carry with the Pats against the Pats this last weekend. And the running game looked okay, even though there's a few injuries on that O-line. Like, they could run the ball. Passing was another story, but running the football was okay. So somebody I would at least put on your bench and see what happens.
I totally agree. I agree now.
Oh, thank you, Kyle. Thank you. Appreciate it. How about wide receivers here? Ryan, and then Kyle, you can go for wide receivers after that.
I'm going to let Kyle lead on this one because this guy, he called it from day one here. Right. So, Kyle, wide receivers, I think we're on the same page.
Yeah, KJ Osborne, 12 catches for 167 yards and 1 touchdown. He's got a high catch rate, 80%. He's pretty solid wide receiver 3 on their team, and they're throwing the ball a decent amount. He got picked up in a lot of dynasty leagues last week, but seems like a good redraft addition. I grabbed him last week, so if you're in my league, you're not getting him. But if you're in any other league, you probably weren't smart enough to grab him last week, so you're good now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Conklin's panning out at tight end. I think he's going to get a few points here or there, but I certainly don't think he's going to be a reliable option. I don't think Chris Herndon, surprisingly enough, is going to be a very reliable option for Kirk Cousins either. So I think this is the guy who he's checking down to. He's not necessarily checking down to Dalvin Cook. KJ Osborne seems to be getting open, and he has a high catch rate. And even if he gets 6 or 7 targets, that's all he gets. He probably still has 5 or 6 catches. So we will continue to see. But, yep, Adam, if he's still around, keep him on your bench. You might even play him next week.
He's, a second-year guy, too? I mean, it's worth taking the risk to see if he goes, goes off or not. He's nothing to prove, but.
Very good point.
Yeah. Lots to prove. Everything to prove. Sky's the limit. We don't know much about him. That's all I'm saying. Sorry, I'm filling in for Regan. I don't know if you guys knew that. I have to have a Regan moment or two.
You're good. You mentioned him. Last week, early last week. So I tried getting him, but I couldn't. But yeah, I already had Justin Jefferson as well. So I'm like, I don't really want 2 wide receivers on the same team. But yeah, I would definitely take a waiver. How much are you going to spend on him?
That's for you, Ryan.
It's tough because it depends on how needy you are at these positions. That's what you gauge your fab budget on. So if you're hitting a slew of injuries, if you have Jarvis Landry, if you have OBJ, if you have Deontay Johnson, this would be a guy that I would probably put out $15, $20, $25 depending on where you're at. Yeah, I mean,
all right.
Again, a standard $100 fab budget league. You don't come across guys who are going to be putting up double-digit points consistently. It's not like he doesn't have the vibe of this is going to be a one week plug. This could be a guy who you might be able to consistently play for 5 or 6 weeks while another guy on your IR is recovering. So too early to tell. 3 is a trend. We'll see what happens this week.
I can tell you for sure he's getting the spot in my flex over Damian Harris. So he's sliding right in there. He's proved himself.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Couple wide receivers I want to highlight. Marquise Brown. All right, he burned me a couple last seasons as well. I know what you're thinking. He's very inconsistent, but I think he needs to be on your roster, not necessarily start if you're not too confident in him. But 60% in roster percentage, he's worth a shot. Darnell Mooney, we mentioned him, 45% rostered. If it's Fields, hopefully the passing will get better. But he saw 8 targets, caught 6 receptions for 66 yards. So, again, these are if you need a wide receiver. These are the guys that you might want to take a flyer out. Not necessarily have to spend big budget. He's not like an Elijah Mitchell last week by any means. And then if you really have a free spot on your bench, Darius Slayton for the Giants. If you're really desperate, 4% rostered. They have Atlanta, New Orleans, and Dallas the next 3 games. He could be a pretty good flex play, especially when we're getting into bye weeks. Anything to add for wide receivers there, guys?
No, not for me.
I mean, I got Christian Kirk I added last week, and he's been pretty solid, not getting the target yet, but they're spreading the ball out there, so it's kind of hard to commit to that.
That's true. I kind of wrote him off at the beginning of the season, but his first game, he looked pretty good. So
two touchdowns. Yep.
Yeah, it is hard with, like you said, spreading the ball around down there in the desert.
Rondale Moore is probably not available in a lot of leagues, but if he is, then definitely pick him up because he is looking very, very impressive.
He shouldn't be available because I've been telling you guys to add him. But let me check his percentage here on Yahoo. 34% rostered, so that is terrible. That will go up above 60 after this week. So yeah, definitely get him. How much would you spend on Rondale Moore here?
Probably about the same as I would on Osborne. Again, a guy that's probably going to be a pretty reliable play moving forward. So yeah, 10, 15.
Yeah, I'm thinking around 15. I would as well if I didn't already have him. Tight ends. Is there anybody worth adding for tight ends here, Ryan?
I would say maybe Max Williams, but it might be too early to tell. 7 targets, 7 catches, 94 yards. I don't expect that from him every week, but if you're really desperate at tight end and you're kind of just doing this whole like plug and play, add and drop game, like Max Williams might be, at least he really seems like the only tight end there. So he's not competing for targets at that position. Might be reliable, like 3-4 catches a game. We'll see.
Yeah, but he's competing with everybody
else. Yeah, and he had zero targets or 0 points the first game. So
exactly.
We'll see.
Tight end, it sucks for streaming. We'll have to give you guys in the start sit episodes, but waiver priority, Kyle, you're not really going to spend that waiver priority on a tight end.
No, not at all. You said it best at the beginning of the year. Get a tight end because you're not going to want to stream them, and
it sucks.
Yeah, it's really not worth it.
I'm actually in that kind of trouble with one of my leagues with Gesicki because I thought he would do well, and I am having to pivot off of that real hard right now. Yeah. It's not good. QBs, Kyle. Any QBs out there worth picking up?
I wonder. Derek Carr. So, in most QB... Wow. Not Tua is what I'm saying, essentially. And if you have him, drop him. If you have Tua... Oh, wait, it was too early. Sorry. We're not on the drops yet. So Derek Carr, he's mostly rostered in 2 QB leagues anyways, but, if I actually have him in mind. He's my second quarterback. I have Kyler Murray and Derek Carr, but
nice.
Yeah, it's a good 1-2 punch, even though I lost this
one. I
bet. Seems like he's trending to be, a reliable play. He just broke the franchise record in Las Vegas, sorry.
He pulled a Regan. You're filling it.
I meant Los Angeles.
If you're talking about franchise records, you can say Oakland / Las Vegas.
Oh, there you
go. /
Los
Angeles. For the most yards in the first 2 games or 2 games combined. So, 93 attempts, 817 yards, 4 TDs, and 1 interception. He's, the receivers there, nobody's looking at him. They're kind of underrated at this point. He's got Darren Waller, so definitely grab him if he's available.
I will grab
and drop
him.
Jameis Winston. I'm sorry.
I will grab him before you grab him. Yes, we'll get into the drops later.
I can't control myself.
Another QB here, Kirk Cousins. I was saying he's been consistent. Number 6 on the week, except now Jared Goff looks pretty good, man. Before halftime, only 1 incompletion and 2 passing touchdowns. So it's silly to say you gotta add Jared Goff. But if you're struggling at quarterback like I am with Ryan Tannehill, and you might want to look Cousins and Goff's way until he can pick it up.
Ott's looking like a quarterback 1 for the last 2 weeks. He was 4th last week, 4th or 5th?
He was number 3 or 4. Yeah, I think he was 3 when we recorded, but after the Monday night game, I'm sure he dropped. So top 5 QB.
He might be top 5 again this week, depending on how the second half goes.
We'll see, man. We'll see. Are they still in halftime?
I think so.
All right. I want to give an update on that. Hopefully DeAndre Swift pulls it out for me. But yeah, definitely keep an eye on those guys. We can give an update on our socials at Just a Tip FFP. If we say pivot or definitely go in on that.
I do have an update. 21-17 Packers. Aaron Rodgers, 22-yard pass to Robert Tonyan for a touchdown.
Ooh, Tonyan, finally.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. I actually saw him on the waiver wire today. I was like, I didn't have an empty roster spot, but somebody dropped him, and I totally missed it. So that reminds me. Always check the transactions. See if somebody gave up on somebody. I think he had 0 points the first week. But all of Green Bay sucked. All of Green Bay sucked. So if somebody drops him, he was good last year. You can't. Tight ends are rare. So I'm gonna have to spend a waiver priority, I think, to pick him up. Just to trade him probably because I have Kyle Pitts.
Tight end 3 last year, I think.
Tight end 3, right? Yeah, I was saying top 5, but yeah, tight end 3.
Yeah.
But I have Kyle Pitts, but I'm like, I'm going to pick up Tonyan and trade him. I think that's worth my some of my fab. But we'll see. By the time people are listening to this, hopefully they don't know. I'm spending like $5 on him.
That transaction tip is pretty huge, though, I want to say, because I didn't know that other people actually looked at the transactions, but I guess you're I watch it pretty steadily.
I looked at it late. Yeah. No, you have to. That's smart. You have to look at it, especially after waivers clear, just to see who's getting impatient because some people dropped. I like bringing this up. Antonio Gibson last year. How disappointing is he this year, though? People spend way too high capital on him, but free off the waiver wire. Like I got him last year. Sorry, side note there. Anybody else for the ads?
No. I think we can move on to some of these drops.
Who are we saying bye to? Who do we got here, Ryan?
Why are we starting with kickers? What is the fascination on the show with kickers? It's unbelievable. I guess Jason Myers sucked this week. I don't know because I don't follow the position.
That was Kyle's late edition, so I'm sorry. I should have led with Kyle.
That's
Kyle,
too late. He already took it. He already started it. He has to finish it.
Oh, man.
But,
who did suck this week? Jason Sanders.
He did suck this week. The whole Miami sucked this week.
I'm pretty sure Jason Myers has like 8 points total this season, Seattle kicker. They're just not kicking. They're not kicking field goals, so I would drop them.
That's good. They're scoring touchdowns. Good for them. Good
for them. Bad for the kickers. Hey.
You know what else is bad for kickers? A goose egg. No points.
That is. Or negative points like Lambeau for Jacksonville.
Graham Gano scored 26 points on me this week and almost cost me my week. So
Graham Gano, how is he still in the league, dude?
Kickers are a thing. You need to pay attention, Ryan. It's a fantasy football.
I just picked solid kickers.
I want a full kicker write-up next week.
Move on.
If you want to listen to Kyle's episode, his solo episode,
Fantasy football kickers.
That'll be a bonus episode if you support us on Patreon. People pay us not to do that episode. Anyway, kickers, whatever. Running backs here, Ryan. Who do we got?
Yeah, you know, I put Peyton Barber. I wouldn't do it this week. I might do it next week. 13 carries for 32 yards. He did lead the team in carries this week. But if Jacobs can get healthy, I think it's pretty clear who's going to be running the football there. So Peyton Barber, eventually, once they rule that Josh Jacobs is back and he's playing, I don't think there's really a need to have Barber as well. Not a great handcuff. Probably only going to get you a few points when he plays. And yeah, I'm just not big on him. A lot of people try to rush the waiver wire to pick him up this week. I was one of them because I have Jacobs, Kenyon Drake, and now I have Peyton Barber.
I was going to say, you did add him.
I did add him, but that's only because I don't have any other running backs. I have Drake and Barber, and I heard that news, and it just, whatever. Wasn't great.
Yeah. I didn't waste my time with him. How about this? Clyde Edwards-Helaire, only 2 points. Should I drop him, Ryan?
Yep, definitely. Drop CEH.
Right. I'll drop him.
I'll be checking that transaction list.
You can't. I'll trade.
No. Don't trade CEH right now. You're not getting anything for him.
I know. You're not going to get maybe a kicker. Maybe I could get Godot. We'll see. Kyle, you got anybody for running backs here?
Yeah, I put Phillip Lindsay down. I just, I grabbed him. He was kind of like a shot in the dark. Gave him 2 weeks. I don't think things are going to work out there, so I might just go out, drop him, and get a handcuff for like a overly active guy like Mixon or whoever else. So I'm
get their handcuffs.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab their handcuffs just in case. Mixon's especially Mixon because he's like a injury prone guy and he's getting a ton of work right now. So
for sure, play ahead of the 8 or behind the 8 ball. The saying goes, something like that.
Just be that guy,
I don't know. I don't go to the billiard hall. I got too big of fingers. It doesn't work. Wide receivers, Ryan. Oh man, I need some sad music for you here.
I know, dude.
I don't got anything.
My guy, Paris Campbell. I don't even have his jersey up this week. That's how depressed I am. He laid a dud week 1.
If you haven't seen, I think you should leave. You are totally lost right now. So
why does that show have so many drops? I don't get it.
Because it's a great show. You gotta see it.
Paris Campbell, dud week 1 with 3 points. This week was a late scratch due to an injury. You could probably just cut him if you picked him up as a late flyer, which is all I thought he was ever going to be, like a 14th, 15th round pick.
Oh, yeah.
Just thought he had some high upside, which he still might. But I think if he's holding a bench spot, you could probably find another guy to pick up instead. KJ Osborne.
Yeah, exactly. Make room for the pickups there. My guy, I said last week, hey, keep a guy on the radar. I picked him up late. You guys might have as well. Emmanuel Sanders. Too much of they need the big play. Too many misses. Josh Allen not playing well right now. He's not worth a bench spot. You can go ahead and drop him. I know that he ticked up a few percentage points for the weekend. But yeah, I think that's it for receivers. If there's any rookies, still be patient with them. Do not drop them yet, unless they're hurt, obviously. But Elijah Moore for the Jets, it was just a bad game all around. Don't drop him. Hold on to him. Devontae Smith, obviously, he had a bad game. You're not going to drop him. Heisman Trophy winner. But yeah, he only had like 2 points, so just want to make sure you guys aren't being silly out there.
I think it's fair to say you can drop anybody in Miami, though, right?
Anybody? No. You still got bye weeks coming up, so maybe in a couple weeks they'll be valuable. But yeah, Gesicki, I think I'm all set. You can drop him and start streaming tight ends. I'm about to give up on him, but until I see something, yeah, go ahead and drop him. But with that, we'll get into the tight ends. Gesicki, and then you have a few guys here, Ryan.
Let me take a look here. I would say like guys who were getting picked up across most leagues last week. O'Shaughnessy, For the Jaguars, Juwan Johnson. For the Saints, I don't think they're worth having on your bench or definitely not in your lineup right now. But even on your bench, these are guys that like if you get a late injury Sunday morning and you need to stream somebody, you need to go to the free agent list and pick up somebody. One of those guys might be okay to like plug in here or there, but those guys are going to be available on the free agent list. You do not have to waste a bench spot for one of them. And what I mean by that is like somebody of that caliber, like Ferrari, Pharaoh Brown, Juwan Johnson, Shaughnessy, Max Williams, like Dan Arnold, maybe in some leagues. Like these guys are available. If you need to stream a tight end, just pick them up the day of.
I was thinking of that Key and Peele skit, the substitute teacher. Mr. O'Shaggy's office. Who?
O'Shag Hennessy, right?
O'Shag Hennessy. Do you mean O'Shaughnessy? Get out! Yeah. I think you brought this up, Kyle, when we were off air. James Conner, did you mention that running back for Arizona? Go ahead and drop him.
Oh, yeah, I did mention James Conner. Yeah.
Yeah, you can go ahead and drop him.
Yeah, if you need the spot.
He's not worth it. If you need the spot, yeah. I wouldn't keep him. He's not getting much workload.
Like David Johnson as another running back. Probably maybe time to cut ties with him too if you still have him.
Just loop him in with Philip Lindsay.
Had 6 carries for 25 yards.
Yeah.
And 2 catches for 22. I mean, yeah, I don't know. He might.
PPR, he might
maybe
be worth if you want to. Yeah, you can drop him. Like it's not going to be great, but then again, if you see him on the waiver wire and you have a bench spot open, you might just pick him up late. So that's really depends on your league. Depends if you are desperate for a running back. Maybe they'll pick it up later. Who knows? But yeah, you can. I say if you definitely want to get one of these receivers that turn it on this past week, then yeah, go ahead and drop him. Then quickly, quarterbacks, like you said here, Tyrod Taylor, he's injured. Unfortunately, if you picked him up as a backup or anything, go ahead and drop him. Mm-hmm. And then Jameis Winston, I put down here.
That hurts.
I mean, you should have traded him. You should have traded him for a flex receiver.
Oh, Reegs.
I know.
Kicking himself now, man.
What was it,
Smith-Schuster. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
For Winston. And he has Stafford.
I was like, he's like, did I mess that up? I'm like, yeah, you messed it up.
Messed that up pretty bad.
Especially now. Deontay Johnson possibly out for a few weeks. Love you, Regan. Just
we all make mistakes.
Opportunity knocks twice, right?
I think with Jameis, the writing was kind of on the wall. You know, he had 5 touchdowns, but what do you have, 150 yards? So
148.
148.
Didn't even break 150.
Yeah, it was just because he didn't throw a pick, you know, like you kind of had faith, but this week obviously it went different.
What, do you throw 4 picks this week?
He evened up his touchdown pick ratio. He likes to keep that balanced.
He does. He does not want to be unbalanced at all with that. It's not even worth looking up the stats. Yeah, he's not good. 2 interceptions. Yeah. 2 interceptions. Yeah, sorry.
I drafted him.
Right.
Just...
late.
Late.
It's not like he was your QB1.
Yeah.
So, alrighty. If you made it this far in the episode, like, subscribe to our channel, and follow Just a Tip FFP on our socials. Give us a rating there. Those are Apple Podcast users. We appreciate it. And share our tips with your friends and family. You guys got anything for the leftovers? I know we've been talking a lot tonight. So no shame if you don't have any.
Go Lions.
What's the score right now?
Yeah, go Lions, honestly.
21-17 Packers.
Right.
Pack got the ball at their own 35. 1st and 10.
Yeah. Lions aren't winning.
Pack got the ball at their own 25.
How much
10-yard penalty.
How much money you want to put on this Miami Raiders game next week?
Ooh, that is good matchup coming up.
That's a leftover.
That is a leftover bet. I keep thinking of food because I haven't eaten dinner yet. I got chili on the crock pot right now. So
Ooh.
after 10 o'clock, I'm going to be eating.
So we're talking like an Applebee's gift card bet? Is that what you want to do?
Applebee's. Why the hell would you pick Applebee's?
You said food, chili. I don't know.
I would. All right, Chili's made sense. That would have made more sense.
Yeah.
But boneyard wings.
Boneyard wings. Mandate.
Sounds good.
Mandate. Loser buys.
Of course. Keep it under 2 orders of wings, though. Jeez.
Speak for yourself.
Oh, I could totally crush 20 wings right now. Curly fries. Oh, all right. I'm starving. I gotta go. Disfatt-Bidge. Gotta eat. Anyway, thank you very much, guys, listening to us, since that is it. Hopefully Regan will be back next week. I know some of you guys miss him.
What?
Send him some love. If you guys got any trade questions or anything, go ahead and hit us up. Actually, that was going to be my leftover. Do you got any trades that you're looking to do, Ryan? Shake things up a bit. It's been pretty quiet in our Dynasty League. I think we need to do a trade.
No, in our Dynasty League, I'm looking pretty good right now, but I would say CEH across some formats. Wait until...
Yeah.
See if he goes off this week, and if he can at least get into double digits, he's somebody I might look into trying to trade.
You don't think he's a buy low target?
I think he's a buy low target for sure. Yes.
You saying go
Definitely.
out for him or don't?
I would say if you own him, you're not going to get much for him, so don't trade him yet. Wait for him to have a game. But
well, now you're telling them all because I'm going to go try buy
low. Yes, this week. If you can. I was just trying to forewarn fellow CEH owners, you know?
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. I'm just kidding. I don't really want any part of him. I just think that's going to be the biggest bust. All of us all hyped last year when he was drafted. Very disappointing.
You
heard it here first.
Yeah.
Graham Cano, CEH.
Yes. Guy I want to buy low on is Jonathan Taylor, though. He's been struggling. I would try to buy low on that guy, see if he's been losing. He's going 0-2. Yeah, check him out. He only got like 7 points this week. So that's a guy. Those are the type of guys. Yeah, throw out some feelers there. If you're stacked at wide receiver and they're not, and you need a running back, go ahead and try doing that. And good luck to you. Speaking of trading partners, didn't you? Never mind. Inappropriate.
What?
I was gonna go with a bad mom joke there. Never mind.
My God. All right.
I am the mailman's kid, if that's what you were wondering.
Yeah, I was curious. We'll
all
get
right.
into that later.
Good night, everybody. Go eat.
That's what she said.
Well, Dak, here's the deal. I'm the best there is, plain and simple. I mean, I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence.